TNT podcast, and we have Sam and Tuna back in the host seats again with me this week. I apologize for not being here last week. Tuna, Sam, you guys did an amazing job taking over the helm, if you will, and put together a really great show. If you didn't catch it, check out episode 22 of the TNT podcast on YouTube. It was a good one. Lots of jokes, lots of laughs, and lots of great tech news. Now, speaking of tech news, a little bit of a slow news week for tech, but there's a couple of things that have caught my attention over the last week. And I know, Tuna, I know we didn't get a chance to have that much of a chat this week because there wasn't much going on, but let's talk 1997. Why is 1997 trending, do you think, on Twitter? Any guesses, Sam, Tuna?
1997?
I'll give you a clue because that's a pretty big year in a lot of things. Here's 12 months here's 12 months. Gaming. 1997.
Gaming.
They brought something back this week. What did they bring? What did they re-release this week? Classic.
Oh yeah, Doom. Oh no, Quake. Quake 2.
Quake,
right?
yes. So Quake 2 remastered.
Why not Quake 1? I don't understand.
They did Quake 1
they did, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
yes.
Quake 2. Did you play that game, Tuna?
Of course I did.
Yes, and were you any good at it? That's a question.
I wouldn't say I mean, yes and no. I mean, I don't play on Twitch and share my, back then they didn't have that, but I just love first-person shooters, and I always have. Doom series, Quake, all those. And I know that was released, and I think it's available on, not Steam, but is it GOG?
Yes, it's on Steam too, I believe.
Steam? Okay, because they said if you own...
So this was the game, right? This is the remastered trailer, in case you're wondering. This is not the original. Original did not look this good.
The soundtrack is awesome, though.
Oh, it's creepy as hell. Love it.
Brings back so many memories, though. Just sprites and the chunks and stuff. Yeah.
I love when the bodies explode into blocks. That was my personal favorite.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I had expansion packs too. I don't know if you remember those.
Well, this comes with one for free, I believe.
Two.
That's even better.
Yeah. Even the sound better. The sound effects, the music.
Now, I'm going to assume they just use Unreal Engine 5 or whatever the new thing is to kind of remap it, get 4K stuff in there. And Sam, did you ever play this or no?
No.
No, not your game, eh?
No, I wasn't a first-person shooter guy back in the day. I mean, I played a little bit of stuff here and there, like Doom and Wolfenstein and stuff, but not much.
Well, in addition to this, I just posted something on Twitter. There's another game coming out on Steam. It's a cross between Doom Eternal and Cyberpunk, they're saying, and it's called Turbo Overkill.
Oh, okay.
And it looks like, I mean, it's more newer, it's not retro, but it still looks, I mean, I thought you were, when you shared this, I thought you were talking about that, but that's not really a throwback.
So this is
Turbo Overkill, yeah.
Turbo Overkill.
And they're saying it's getting a ton of love online. If you like first-person shooters.
Oh, it looks pretty good. It reminds me a lot of what's that fucking?
And look who it is.
Oh, there
I haven't seen that name since Captain Commander. Or Commander Keen. It was Commander Keen.
It got a very Blade Runner-y kind of vibe. I don't know if you caught that, which I think is amazing.
The article I read was Cyberpunk 2022 and Doom Eternal mixed together.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a huge gamer, but I like this kind of stuff.
Now, getting back to Quake for a second. So I don't know if you remember. I don't know when I played Quake. I played it on PC. I had the
yes.
Disc. But the disc also had an audio track, so you could actually put it into a CD player and play the audio.
Yeah.
One thing that always impressed me with Quake was the soundtrack, and I know you just mentioned it a few moments ago, but the soundtrack of Quake was one of those games where it really made the experience. Like if you put headphones on or you played that out loud on your computer desktop speakers, you were getting the whole experience, right? You were getting the creepy, creaturey vibes, the sound effects in the background, the big explosions.
Out of your sound blaster? Heck yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can only imagine now that it's been remastered that they've probably kept the original soundtrack, or at least I hope they have. But I can imagine like the gun sound effects and stuff are probably a lot better. And that really interests me. Because, I mean, again, you can see they're releasing it on all the major platforms, but and also on PC. I'm almost tempted to download it just for nostalgic purposes.
And I don't know if I bought the original. I know I had the original Doom on Steam, I believe, but they say if you have the original Quake or you purchased that series, they'll upgrade you for free. And I have to check. I haven't been on Steam in a while, so I have to check to see if I have that. But I follow the Wolfenstein series because not that they're popular anymore.
Another classic.
Like the Youngblood, the newest one. It wasn't very popular, but I loved it. I still played it. So
now it's funny. How do you guys feel about this recent trend of like remastering these classic games and bringing them back? Is it a money grab or is it legit fan service?
It's both. Oh, it's a money grab for sure, but it's also like for me, I don't care. I mean, if they're upgrading you for free, they're not making money off that, but people are going to go out and buy it. I think it's. I mean, yes, it's a money grab. They're a business at the end of the day, but I think for me, it's more retro. I mean, if you're not into this kind of game, you may look at it differently. So,
yeah. I mean, again, for me, I find it very interesting that they're doing this now. And I mean, look, don't get me wrong. This, for those of you who remember the original, this looks remarkably better than what the original was. The original was a blocky graphical mess from the 90s, like most first-person shooter games were. But yeah, I mean, again, I'm assuming they probably use Unreal Engine or something like that to kind of make it what it was. But I remember you could actually do multiplayer. So even back in the day, you could do multiplayer. I'm sure.
But it wasn't like it is now. Of course.
No, not at all. No, I think it was dial-up internet multiplayer style. But just kind of a cool concept, man. Like to bring back these classic games. Now, my question is to both of you. What game do you want them to remaster and bring back? I know we've had Doom, we've had Quake, and those were pretty massive games in the mid to late 90s, early 90s. But what's the game you would love to see them bring back? I know, tough question.
Well, there's actually two, but they're old games. So
that's the idea.
The first game was a game called Populous.
Oh, I remember it. I remember Populous. Yeah,
I don't know that one.
So it was kind of like a God sim. So you were like, it was like down, and you had to build levels, and people would make houses and they'd fight, and then you could do like different kinds. You could make earthquakes and floods, and then at the end of it, when you thought you had enough population, you could have Armageddon, and they all go to the middle and fight. And the maps got consecutively, like really, really hard, like hundreds of levels. That was a good one that they tried to remake it. It didn't work out. I mean, the original Populous with more of a remastered kind of look. The other is a game I almost guarantee it you've never heard of this game. It was a game. I'm going to tell you how old this is. This is on the Intellivision. That's how old this game is. But it was called Microsurgeon by a company called iMagic. And so remember the story of The Impossible Journey where they yeah, so it's basically that is a game. You basically have a patient. He's got all sorts of jacked up stuff. He's got, and it's very. I mean, it's really rude. If you want to look, I do you a favor, Darren. If you can pull it up, look at. It's called Microsurgeon.
What year do you think that was?
81, 82. It's on the original.
Yeah, I don't know that.
I have it. I have the game.
I can't say that I was either born or not born at that time yet, but I'll just leave it at that.
I highly doubt it.
Dr. Awesome? Microsurgeon?
Yeah,
no?
I don't know.
Yeah?
No, it was by...
Oh, here we go. I think this is it. Hang on 1 second.
Yeah.
I gotta see this.
It's really... I hope this is it. When you see this, you're going to be like, yeah, by iMagic. Yep, 1982.
1982. Look at that.
So basically what this game was is you got this, right? And this is your dude, and he had conditions, right? And they were bad. So you'd have to fix stuff, right? They'd have blood clots. They'd have an infection. They'd have heart disease. They'd have blockages. And you'd have this little thing, and you'd run around, and you would move around inside of this character like this, and you would move around.
What?
Yeah, and you'd move
that
around.
Is cool for that year.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you had the, and you'd shoot like aspirin at it, or you'd have a laser to break the blockage.
Oh, I love this.
And what's cool about it was when you try to go through arteries, it was easy to get around. It would move quicker. But as you got these like really smaller vessels, like capillaries, it would be really small. So you had to try to, but the problem is you'd have all this stuff messed up. So they'd be in really bad condition all over the place. So you had to go a little here, a little there, move back and forth and try to like keep them alive basically until you can kind of, but yeah, you had to basically, it was a side body and you'd have to move up and down. And then eventually you get down, you're basically behind the jaw, right? So if you go down, it would go into the aorta. You can go all the way. I think it was to the waistline, I believe is where it ended. But here's the back of the head, right? And there's bugs, so you have to like shoot little aspirins at it, and everything. He had like 5 or 6 different things. Like you had to.
You know what? I
cool.
bet they've remade this game, and not as this game, but I'm sure there's games like this. But if they
you're throwing little viruses. You're throwing
That's
little
cool.
Shooting, and you had to. And of course, you had that. Remember the old D-pad at the bottom, and you had the like the buttons on the side because it was like basically a phone is what it was.
Yeah.
It was like, the overlay. And yeah, I used to play the hell out of this game when I was a kid. I was like maybe 8 years old. I used to just play this for hours on end. And then you'd have, you start getting into the lungs, right? So now you've got lung issues. You got to fix the lung issues, and then you got to move around. You go in the heart, and there's blockages, and things come at you, and they try to destroy you because they're white blood cells. They're fighting you. They see you as an infection, so they're coming at you while you're trying to do all this. I thought the game was a pretty interesting game. Obviously, the graphics are
lots of skill involved.
It's 1982.
It was hard. This game was hard.
It looks like it's kind of slow too if you don't get to something in time.
Right, because remember you're going through tissue. So if you actually went into tissue, like the lung itself, it was super slow. So you were trying to stay out of this. You want to stay in the open areas, not get in the tissue. So it was kind of cool.
Like and it was ahead of its time.
Oh yeah.
If
they remade this, and they could do still the side by side. It doesn't have to be graphically incredible, but if they could do this game, I would definitely.
Would you do it in virtual reality?
Oh, that would be kind of wild. I think
that would
using
be cool.
Your hands.
Yeah,
that would be.
Amazing. Or if you're actually in the ship and you're flying around and you're trying to shoot stuff. Yeah, because you would be inside the little capsule.
I like.
Actually, I don't know if they made the story
Meta, if you're listening, you get on this right now.
Yeah, so this is an old game. So I always tell people, if there's ever a game I would like to have been remade, that would have been cool to see a remake of that one. Would have been cool. I don't think they ever did.
I love it. Great suggestion, Tuna. What about you? What's your go-to?
So, I was more of a '90s kid when it came to games, and I never played console games. I mean, I had Nintendo, but I was more of a computer guy. Me and my dad would build them together, so I'd build them and shareware and all kinds of stuff. But I was a Wolfenstein 3D guy, and I don't think you really want to remake that. But there's a game I used to play that was based on the Doom engine called Heretic.
Oh, yes.
Heretic. And it was just like Doom, but it was like set in a different time. I think it was like 93 or maybe 90. And I loved it. It was just different. It was taking Doom to a different kind of time frame. And it's old. Yeah. But yeah, you can see it looks just like Doom.
Oh, it's got a... Oh man, there's a game I used to play and it was like a there was another game.
Love this game.
Oh come on, I'm trying to think of another game. It was like it wasn't like Doom. It was this kind of thing where you're walking around and you're having like a little sorcerer and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and I can't remember.
This was Doom era though, wasn't it, Tuna?
Yeah, and I was a huge...
This is basically Doom with a different model. Is what this
is. It is exactly what it is, and I think it's... I mean, try to pull it up. I think the same company made it. I want to say it's...
it might be, actually.
Raven Software. I don't know if Raven did Doom, though. I don't think that was it. They probably just licensed the engine.
Yeah, the look of the engine, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I like this kind of stuff, and there are so many games built on this. This is just the one. I remember spending hours and hours on this, and just because... back in the 90s, cheat codes, you hit the little tilde button, you type in God, and you had God mode. It was really simple.
Now it was so easy.
Now you have to go in and you have to edit the README file and all. It's just stupid. Not that I want to cheat, but it was just fun to go through it yourself and try to win, and then go back through it and see all the stuff you missed, and no clipping and walking through the walls and shit.
I remember. I would like to see them do the original Turok.
Oh, Turok was another one.
Yeah, that was a really cool.
Was that based on Doom or Unreal?
It might have been
the first one might have been.
Yeah, TUROK. It was. I think the original one was for N64.
The original one might have been Doom. It may have been a little newer than that.
It was cool. Yeah, and then what happened
97.
was it was nice because you would if you had that 4 gig jumper or that 4 meg jumper that you would put in your Nintendo 64, it made the graphics like 1,000 times better.
Oh, see, I played it on computer. I never had a Nintendo 64.
Yeah, but this was like, I remember when this came out, I was like,
It was cool.
I couldn't believe how cool it was. I mean, it was, and it had neat.
It was kind of like Jurassic Park-ish, if I remember.
Yeah, the story was really pretty good. You know, you're Native American, you're going in there, it was cool. It had it was.
Oh my god, look at those graphics!
Oh, it's
so
terrible.
hilarious.
Yeah, it's
slightly racist, but I love it.
You can't get away with something like this anymore. Back in the day, you could.
And they did make other versions of it that were more contemporary, and they weren't. I
think I have one of these on Steam. I don't know which version I have. If it's 1, 2, or 3.
I think it was. I think it was on PlayStation 1 or 2.
Did you ever play Redneck Rampage?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, I did play Redneck Rampage.
We're gonna go. We can spend hours going through all these old games. We really could.
Well, and I'm
going to show you my suggestion. I don't know if you guys remember the game Sidewinder, 1988 game. I'm going to
Sidewinder. I'd have to see.
So. This was it was actually my whole family, my mom, my dad, everybody was into this game, but very simple. Navigate.
You know what this reminds me of? A game called Xevious. It was the same.
Yes.
Yeah, same kind of. Okay. Yeah.
So basically, it was Space Invaders, but with I guess
a scrolling thing.
Yeah, and you could scroll left and right, up and down, and you basically had to kind of shoot the bad guys, kill the aliens.
Well, this guy's not shooting anything; he's just flying right through.
Well, he's trying to shoot those little disc things there because I think the whole idea was a bit Star Wars-ish. This game where you had to take out.
I can say I never played this, Darren, but I've played games like this.
There was stuff like there was stuff on the ground you had to bomb, and then there was stuff you had to shoot in the air. So it was like some ground targets and stuff like that.
It basically, like I said, Space Invaders, except you could go up and down as well.
Yeah.
Now I'm sure Sam remembers this game. You ever Gunsmoke?
Oh God, yeah.
That would be cool.
Smoke.
A remake Gunsmoke would be pretty cool.
Yeah, but remember the game? If you look at the name, it was actually Gun Smoke.
Yeah, okay. I don't remember that.
Right here.
Yeah. See?
Yeah.
Nobody ever notices that, and they did it because it was a copyright infringement problem.
Of course it was.
So that's why they said that's not Gunsmoke. It's actually Gun Smoke. It's not.
So it's like Contra, right? If I remember correctly, playing it's like Contra only.
This actually has more of a Commando kind of vibe to it.
Yes.
The old Commando. That's what this was more in the same kind of ilk as Gun. Yeah, but Gunsmoke was because you could shoot kind of 45s too as you were going up. Yeah,
it's funny as we watch these. I think of other games that keep popping in my head.
Oh, dude, another game like I said, Soul Reaver, Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver.
You know which one I would like to see remade? Mike Tyson's Punch Out. Is it Punch Out?
I don't know if he'd sign up in a heartbeat to get some money out of that one.
What is it? Punch Out?
Mike Tyson? No, it was Mike Tyson. Well, remember there was Punch Out.
I had Punch Out.
That was the arcade game, and they didn't. And then they made Mike Tyson's Punch Out, which wasn't the same game.
No.
So this was this is what I was
Punch-Out.
thinking of.
That's the game I played on Nintendo.
Yeah, that's the original Nintendo.
Yeah, this is
there's
the
an
original
arcade version that had glass show, but it was more you were a wireframe guy.
Yes.
And it was green wireframe. That's what you are. And that actually at the arcade had a plunger for the cable. But it was not like this. It didn't look.
It wasn't the greatest game.
And once you knew how to fight each guy, what the weakness was, you could win the game in a heartbeat.
All these games were just basically it was just memorizing patterns.
I don't know if you caught the reference there, but the guy, the referee, looks like Super Mario.
It is Mario.
Yeah, it is
Mario.
It is specifically Mario.
Yeah. So I mean, look. I love the trend of bringing back classic games. I love that they're remastering them and bringing them back with their whole, 4K glory. I think that's really interesting. I don't know, just kind of an interesting story. I kind of populated my my newsfeed this week.
That was a few days ago. I remember reading. I'm like, and I thought, I should talk about this on TNT. I'm like, we don't really talk about video games, and I just kind of forgot about it.
Listen, we talk about everything on the TNT podcast.
I know.
We try our best. Okay, let's move on to a story we mentioned a couple weeks ago. So Zuckerberg and Musk. So the talk of the fight continues. Now, as of today, I think Zuckerberg came out today and said, maybe we should just give it a rest. That sounds like the words of a chicken to me. But basically, earlier in the week, I think it was Elon Musk was elaborating on the conditions of the fight, like where it was going to take place and so on.
Come on.
So, and I'm not making this up, just so you know, you can look this up yourself. Musk said that they were going to do the fight in the Colosseum in Rome, and that he'd reached out to Italian officials asking for permission, and they had said yes. I love that idea. It gives me gladiator-esque Russell Crowe vibes. I think they should set it up like that. I think they should have a stadium. I think they should have to wear the same equipment. Would it happen? Do you think it would happen?
Here's the thing. Whether it happens or not, if it did, there'd be so much liability that these guys are going to be wrapped in bubble wrap. I hate to say that.
I'm okay with that. Wrap them in bubble wrap. Whoever pins the first one down, I don't care. That's cool too.
Okay, so who do you think would win? I'm taking Zuckerberg. I know that Elon's bigger, but I think Zuckerberg trains a lot harder.
I said Zuckerberg too, and part of the reason Zuckerberg, it's always the weedy kind of guys you got to be careful of because they've got that kind of like, they're scrappy and they got that built-in rage. I feel like Elon Musk is a bit too spoiled.
So are you saying Elon Musk is Glass Joe?
Yes.
I'm just 100%. Kidding.
Yes. And Zuckerberg is Tyson.
Maybe more of a Soda Popinski instead.
There you go. Yeah, so I like that one.
Now, okay, so let's just.
Well, they clearly can't have spectators because they can't have people sitting. It would just be them by themselves.
And they could bring their phones because then there'd be a fight of who gets to post it to what platform.
Right.
Oh my God. I think they should be able to. I think they should be able to use weapons. Like I don't mind if they're wrapped in bubble wrap. I'll be honest with you. Fucking strap some pillows around them. I don't care.
But you gotta level the field. So whichever social site has more subscribers, that owner gets first dibs on what weapon he gets to pick.
Yes, exactly. I like that. And I think they should be classic gladiator weapons. Like I want to see a fucking mace.
Come on.
I want to see, like I'm just saying, like
live tigers.
Well, I mean, listen, it wouldn't be uncommon in the Colosseum for animals to be involved because they did a lot of animal fighting, especially in the 1600s there. But I think it was bear baiting. I think it was the big thing. We had two bears fighting each other. But it would be amazing to see it. And I mean, I don't even think it would, to be honest with you, just having a fight between these two guys in the Colosseum, I just think it being in the Colosseum's amazing. I don't even need to see these guys fight. I just want to see
pay-per-view. They would bring in so much. I mean, that Nate Diaz and what's his name, Logan, whatever. That thing brought in Nate Diaz lost and probably made more money than he's made all his entire life.
Yep,
it's crazy.
I would love to see that streamed, pay-per-view, live TV. I don't fucking care. It could be on fucking radio. Fucking.
Would you pay $60 to watch that on pay-per-view?
I would. Absolutely. Absolutely. No, I would.
So here's the problem: when you pay $60, usually these I haven't done pay-per-view in years. Usually there's a bunch of fights up to that. Yes. So do they have like
lead up fights,
like the nothing CEO versus the OnePlus CEO? Like they have all these.
There's an idea. There you go. Now
it'll be Steve from marketing at and it'll be some dude from the mailroom. Over at Twitter or X or whatever.
Yeah, Google and someone in Google and Apple's got to go at it.
If they got a project manager, it'll probably be him. And then they have a couple of women probably fight. So it'll be like Trish, right? You have Trish from accounting, and that kind of thing.
What would be interesting and what might work really well here is what if each of those two guys got to choose like an MMA fighter to be their like trainer / mentor. Ooh. And they trained for a month. They had 30 days to prepare or whatever with this guy every day, every night, whatever. Kind of like Rocky Balboa running up the stairs kind of deal. I would love to see that because then you know that they're being coached by someone who actually knows what the fuck they're doing.
But isn't Zuckerberg already trained in MMA of some sort, I thought he was.
Zuckerberg, I think he does Muay Thai, maybe?
Well, that's part of MMA. That's a form of mixed martial art, I guess. But yeah.
Well, Dan said he would love to see Trish go ahead. Go Trish right there.
Go Trish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not seeing the chat. Sorry, I didn't see that.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
I'm gonna pop it open there.
I have no. Yeah, I mean, if it was on, I'm sure I would go to a place and watch it. But I'm not gonna pay to watch that at home.
Oh, you would have to get absolutely hammered drunk to enjoy that for what it really is. And it's going to be probably a 1 or 2 round maximum kind of deal. I don't think they're going to go 10. But a Karen fight, Karen versus Trish. There you go.
Yeah, you got to get a Karen in there.
Listen, Trish from accounting, and she's allowed to have an abacus as her weapon.
An abacus? Who the hell uses an abacus?
And Karen, she can have a stapler. Like, let's just go all in on this. Give him something that they can pull from their office.
Swing line stapler.
It's got to be a red one. Yes.
Yes. Okay. That's fair. I could get down with that. Okay.
Listen, I don't know. I know as of today, I think like I said, Zuckerberg was saying, maybe we should just, give this a rest now. I think maybe it's getting too much traction, a little bit too hot for Zuckerberg there, but.
He doesn't seem like the kind of guy that would want to fight. He might train like a fighter to be in shape, but he doesn't seem like the kind of guy to fight. Elon, he gives me that vibe like he doesn't give a crap. He'll just do whatever.
I would love to see like Zuckerberg throw like a floppy disk as like a ninja star, like like across the air.
Now 3 1/4 or 5 1/4 or 3 1/2.
5 1/4.
I want the big
5 1/4.
And you'd have to make sure that you had a hole punch so you could punch the opposite side. So you can protect both. Yeah, do that.
I see that kind of shit with classic tech. They're not allowed to use classic tech as their weapons.
Yeah.
Right. So scientific calculator, fucking whatever. Right.
Punch cards.
I was watching a show on Netflix. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. It's got these guys that sell memorabilia for a lot of money. They do golden auctions or something. I just started watching it today, and there was a guy who had the original Apple computer. And they were talking about floppy disks, and he had one of the original prototype. He had like unopened boxes from like the last 40 years of computers or whatever. And the kid, who was probably maybe 25, he says, "Oh yeah, they have floppy disks." And he goes, "Did you just call it a floppy disk?" It's funny when this makes me feel really old when I have to correct someone. But
at my desk, I have a pencil holder. It's 5 3.5s. Like
nice.
In a square, and I bought it. It was at somebody had made old floppy disk. They made a bunch of stuff on it, and it's basically a box, and it's basically just zip tied corners, and basically it's one on the bottom and 4 sides.
Oh, that's cool.
Different colors. And
what else do you do with them?
Nothing. Nothing. But it was kind of neat. So it was like $5. It was at one of those like really kind of like.
You don't get magnets close to those, do you? Because a magnet will erase the information.
Oh, the distance is true. This is true. Right, and it was just cool. I thought it was for $5. It was kind of a neat little somebody kind of repurposing it as a little pen bucket, or you could put coins in it. I use it on my desk as a pencil holder, basically. It's kind of fun.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think still in my drawer here, I think my wife still has a collection of floppy disks that she used when she went to university or something like that. Because up until fucking 5-7 years ago, she still had I think it was a laptop or something that could still access it.
No, it was probably a word processor. It probably wasn't even a laptop.
Something. I don't know what the fuck it was. Whatever it was.
Had little front pulls down. Yeah.
So she was reluctant to get rid of them. And then it was might have just actually been the other day. She asked where the CD-ROM was on my desktop PC here. And I had to explain to her in very nice terms that they don't do that anymore. In fact, it's not that common. I mean, you still can get them in some, I guess, PCs. I think I have them somewhere around here. One of them.
An external drive, basically, is what you gotta get.
Yeah.
I literally bought a SATA connector for an external drive because my work computer does not have a CD, and sometimes we get evidence on CDs. Right. And the only way to do it was to buy an adapter and plug an external. It's literally an external drive with no case. I just plug it into the wall and I connect it to the USB port. And that's how I have to review evidence sometimes.
I love it. I love that. I love that we're still using CD as data sources. I mean, nothing wrong with that. Listen, I got many of a backup audio CD in my room here.
Yeah, but think about it. If you have anything that's damning, like photos from years ago, you shred those, you throw them in the trash, and no one's ever going to find them. Now everything's in the cloud. Someone hacks with all your personal information's out there. I mean,
this is true. I mean, that's how all the nudes of tuna leaked on the internet. So if you're looking for those, it's one of those things. Unfortunately,
that might be where the nickname came from.
Okay, let's talk. Let's move on. Let's talk post Z Fold, Z Flip. State of the Union, if you will. So they've been out now for a couple of weeks. Lots of people appear. Tuna, I saw your tweet earlier today. Lots of people appear to be buying them. Or are they? Because I know Dan, who's another regular on our show here, was like...
he's a huge Samsung fan, though, by the way. He hates anything but Samsung. Dan hates every other company.
I know. He just loves Samsung. But I know he mentioned that it just appears to be a lot of tech YouTubers with these Fold 5s, not a lot of average consumers. Fair point. Is it a success or is it a bust in the tech world? And I don't mean by sales, I mean general reception.
And when I posted that tweet, that's what I was kind of saying, I was kind of tongue in cheek, like, oh, all these tech reviewers, the guys are saying, oh, look at this Fold 5. It's the greatest thing since sliced bread. I still have the Fold 4 and I thought about trading it in. I think I can get it for like $500 some. I don't see the benefit. I mean,
exactly the same.
Yeah. Successful. I mean, yes, it's the next iteration. They've closed the gap on the hinge. They made the hinge stronger, better chip, better battery life. I just don't know general public wise if it's going to sell well, but they're on their 5th generation. They've done something right. I mean,
yeah,
I have the Pixel Fold still. I thought about returning it, but I think I'm going to hang on to it. I'm probably in the minority here. Man, I still have the Fold 4. I still prefer that. I don't know. I just like that. Fold? The inside screen, I do.
Okay.
I hate the outside screen of all the folds except for the Pixel.
Yeah.
I think it's just because, again, when I open my Fold, it doesn't open all the way, and I didn't think it'd be a big deal because everyone's like, "I go quit whining about it," but it's true. It's weird. It's like I mean, that one looks like it's almost flat, but it's not quite.
I'm trying to get it level.
Maybe it's my case because my case. See, I don't know if you can see on mine.
Well, you've got the hinge protection going on there too, right?
Well, yeah, but it's magnetic, so you can see. Yeah. So you can it just kind of moves.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I see. Here's the thing, and I think if the Pixel Fold had been released after the Z Fold 5, I don't think people would have preferred the Pixel Fold. And I think because they snuck in right before the Pixel 5, the Fold 5 came out, and they released a different form factor, I think that's what's selling Pixel Folds right now. The outer screen, 100% is the reason to buy it.
And I'm not saying it's a bad device. It's a great device. I haven't had any overheating. I'm on Android 14 beta now.
Me too.
Battery life hasn't been terrible, but like I said, my main phone is not my main phone, so I'm not using it all the time. Yeah. I have been kind of disappointed with the cameras, and now let me preface that by saying, compared to the 7 Pro, compared to every other phone I have, it blows it away. But I was kind of hoping I got rid of my 7 Pro, thinking, well, I'll just get another Pixel device and be okay with it. But it's not. They're good, but they're not as good.
They're 7A good. That's the best way to describe it.
Sure, yeah. I know I have a 7A, but okay, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I had the 7 Pro. When I got the Pixel Fold, side by side, they look pretty similar. The Pixel Fold, I do find, though, the images are not as sharp, not as clean as the 7 Pro. I used the 7A for about 2 or 3 weeks, so I got a little bit of context there. Mm-hmm. I would say the Pixel Fold has the 7A cameras, but to put it into context, if you think about our little friend Marquez there and his blind camera test at the end of the last year, I think the 6A won.
Yeah,
off the top of my head. So
the Honor 5 Pro still is the champ of cameras for me. I don't have it anymore. But I have to agree with Sam, who made a comment in a group, chat we were in.
Yeah.
If they had a Surface Duo 3 with 2 screens, I actually kind of would prefer that. And here's why I say that. Yes, there's a gap in the screen. I don't care. I think it just the longevity. You're going to have it longer. It's going to last longer. And Microsoft had the fit and finish of that Duo line. I mean, it was top notch. Not to say the Fold isn't, but I would prefer something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. And then we're not going to see a Duo 3. And like I said, and I think the Duo, OG Duo's last update is probably next month, I believe, or 2 months from now. It's the last security.
The original
patch.
Duo?
Yeah. And then you'll have another year of security patches. I don't think it's ever going to see Android 13. I don't ever think it's going to. They're never going to make a 3. It's a shame. But like I said, I know a lot of people like to have the outer screen. I kind of liked having the Duo just because it was a deliberate device. Like you couldn't just look at it, right? I mean, and you could. I mean, a lot of times if I was going to be using it a lot, I would put it back to back, like screen, and then you could put that in your pocket, and it worked just fine. Everyone's like, "Well, what are you worried about scratching?" I'm like, it wouldn't scratch any more than your screen. Your slab phone is in your pocket. screen out. So
I think it has to do with the folding, because a folding device is more expensive, and you're like, oh my god, you're putting it in your pocket.
Yeah, but what's nice about it is you can. What I liked about the Duo was when you're using the foldables, you have to close it to use the outer screen.
Yes.
And so it's just a different approach, right? So if you want to make a phone call, you're not going to hold the tablet, right? You're going to close it.
Yeah.
And then with the Duo, you just fold it back on itself.
Yes.
But it's a different approach to it, a whole thing. Like I said, again, I'm not complaining. I like the foldable devices, but yeah, of all things being considered, I still like using two different independent displays.
Well, it's funny for me. It's funny because Michael Pepper, who's also another friend of the TNT podcast here, I'll just quote what he said. He actually kind of hit the nail on the head for me today. He said he found himself hating both the inner and the outer screen, which I think is very, very funny. But he said the inner screen was weird because even when rotating the orientation, the video that would play wouldn't be much bigger than, say, like an iPhone 14 Pro Max playing in full screen. Then you had to rotate it to get stereo sound because there's fucking a million speakers coming out of different ends. And he just basically said, like, they've got better software, Samsung, currently right now, but Google's AI stuff is really what sold him on the Fold, right? Like the cameras, the call screen, the voice to text. And I have to agree, like, when you buy a Pixel device, you're getting a smartphone. When you buy a Samsung device, like a folding device, you're getting good software, and the hardware's pretty, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's the best, most functional hardware for what you might want it for. And case in point is the S23 Ultra. Absolutely love that phone, but it's too square. It's too boxy. It doesn't fit in pockets. Not for me. Everything else about that phone is spectacular. Cameras, performance, battery, everything. But it's too damn big, too damn boxy. Didn't work for my workflow. I really like the Pixel Fold, and I really do. I love that design. I agree. And Sam, you hit the nail on the head a couple of weeks ago when you said they made the outside screen too good. Right now, I think it's probably about 80-20. I use the outside screen about 80% of the time. When I want to watch a YouTube video or the TNT podcast, I'll open it up. Or if I'm editing an image or watching like a family movie or porn or whatever, like any of those things, the bigger screen works really well. But maybe that's what me as a consumer prefers now that I think of it. Because it used to piss me off on the Z Fold 4 I had last year where I couldn't watch anything comfortably on the outer screen and I'd have to keep fucking opening it up. And then sure enough, you'd kill the battery in 2 hours. And then it makes you wonder, well, why did I get a folding phone at all? So I don't know. Like for me, I still think the Pixel Fold takes the win in the category of usability and probably cameras. But as far as like maturity is concerned, maybe the Z Fold 5 is a better bet if you want the safer bet.
I think Samsung in a good position too with the amount of experience they have with folding phones.
Yes.
And I think, like I said, the R&D in these things takes years or, a year ahead of time, whatever it is. So I think they're already going to move to something different, maybe they'll just create a whole nother folding device. I know they're working on a folding tablet is what I've heard somewhere earlier this week too, that maybe they're working on something like that. I think for me, the Fold 4 for me, when I agree when watching YouTube videos, it isn't much bigger than a really big. That's where the Pixel Fold is a little better because it's a little more wider. For me, it's gaming. And I don't game a whole lot, but the games I do play, I'm not going to play them on the Fold. Fold because it gets too warm.
Would you play them on the Fold 4?
Oh yeah, I've got a couple games on there. I just got the Red Magic 8S Pro in.
Yeah,
you can see that.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the lights are on too.
Nice, fancy.
That got me going on Doom and Doom 2 because I can plug it to my TV and map a keyboard and mouse and play it. But that's for me. I think does the Fold 4 have DeX? I don't even know. I've wanted to use DeX in the S23.
Yeah,
so I don't use DeX a whole lot. But I don't know. I think the Fold 4 is a better form factor, obviously, or the Pixel Fold.
Yeah. Now, I posted this question up on YouTube earlier in the week. So I said, if you could switch out your Pixel Fold for a Fold 5, Z Fold 5 right now, would you do it? No. Believe it or not, the Pixel Fold actually came back. And just to give you some statistics here, so 57.9% of people said absolutely not, keeping the Pixel Fold. 26.3% said yes, switch it, and 15.8% said, are you crazy? So it looks as though the Pixel Fold, as far as popularity is concerned, maybe is a little bit more popular because of that design. Maybe not necessarily for the functionality and maturity of the software. But again, if you've used the Pixel, you know what you're getting into, right? You're getting all those call screening, hold for me, magic eraser. And I know with the Pixel 8 Pro, which we'll talk about in just a second, they're talking about audio eraser, which I think is very interesting.
Yes.
I don't know if that's true. It was a leaked video, I believe. So I don't know if that's where it's going. But, my question is, do you think the Flip 5 is going to sell better than the Fold 5 this year? Yes. If you had to put money on it,
it's cheaper. It's cheaper. I mean, that's the big thing there.
Yeah.
I saw Adam. We've had him on the podcast a few times.
Yes.
He made a comment on Twitter today, or maybe it was yesterday, that the hoops you have to jump through with the Samsung Flip 5 to get all those apps to work is kind of intense for the average consumer. We all know what good lock is if you have a Samsung device usually. And I still have my Razr, but I'll be honest, that Razr's been sitting on a desk for a while. But yeah, the fact that you can just open it up and start using any app you want, it may not look perfect, but you can get most of them to work. Yeah, it's without any other apps installed or anything like that.
Part of me, I used the Z Flip 4 for probably about 3 or 4 months last year, and I would have definitely integrated that into my regular. That would have been my regular device. I'm a big fan of nostalgia and Razr and flipping phones because that's what I grew up with. But the Flip 4, while I loved it, the battery didn't hold up for me as much as I needed it to, and the cameras were just okay. Unfortunately, I don't know if there's been huge improvements in either of those two things. From what I've heard so far, like the new processor seems to be helping a bit with battery with both of those devices.
Cameras have been better too. I've seen some side by sides with the Fold 4 and the Fold 5, and they are significant. I guess you can put things side to side. Of course, they're going to be significant. But I think when you side to side comparison, the Fold 5 did look better. But I had the Fold 4, and every time I took a picture, it never disappointed me for the most part. It was perfectly normal and average on every account. So.
Yeah, and I mean but I guess, and this comes back to the question. I mean, I know Sam, we talked about this too, about how if you're spending $1,800, is it okay for a perfectly average camera? Because I don't know. I don't think it is. Like, at least with the Pixel Fold, I feel as though you're getting somewhat value in the camera department. Maybe not completely, but at least you're getting a camera that we know can hold up in photography. Sam, would you buy the Fold 5 knowing that the camera is not drastically better?
If I didn't have a Fold 4, like I don't have any device at all, I would get a Fold 5. Yeah.
So you would buy it even knowing that the camera. I mean, you wouldn't know, I guess, and that's probably.
I mean, this is a guy who rocked a Duo for a year, 2 and 3 years. So clearly, and then with a Gcam port, I'm telling you, man, with a Gcam port, you'd be surprised. You can squeeze some decent shots out of that thing if you're not going crazy with it.
I'm glad you brought that up. I'm getting that Gcam port for the 8S Pro.
If you have a Gcam port, and I granted that's a Pixel, right? So everybody's laughing, but no, for me, cameras really aren't the end all be all. I don't take a whole lot of photography or pictures, and I just don't. My girls are grown. I don't take a lot of. My thing is this: when I'm on vacation, I'm too busy enjoying the vacation to just take a picture of everything. And I mean, if it's something that's, whatever. If you have a phone, here's the thing: if you're going on vacation to take photos and you're actually going to take photos, go get a DSLR or mirrorless.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't be taking shit with your phone, right? You just don't. I mean, and if you're not, like granted, you're not going to lug that thing around because you're just going on vacation, right? But anyway, like I said, for me, cameras aren't a big deal. The main reason drives me nuts about both the Fold 5 well, Samsung phones and the Pixel, especially the Fold. I'm sorry, charging it from 0 to 100, taking an hour and 45 minutes is fucking criminal.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. That alone is enough to not make me buy it.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. When you got something like this,
yeah,
and you start living that. Here's the thing: I'm okay with battery life if I can charge it in 30 minutes.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that.
So wait, what did you say? The Fold 5 takes how long to charge?
No, the
Pixel and the
the Pixels are always slow. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and that I'm sorry. In 2023.
Yeah.
The fact that they put an $1,800 device on the market and it's charging at, I mean, I can charge and the battery capacity is not heavy. It's not even 4,000. What is it, like? I mean, it's barely at 4. What's the capacity on it?
4,800.
4,800. Yeah.
Right. There's when I can get a battery that's 5,000 milliamps and charge it in 30 minutes. Well, I'm sorry to put a phone out there in 2023 where it's got not great battery life, even with the Gen 2 or the Tensor. And you already told me the battery life on the Pixel Fold is
It's better on the beta.
Right.
But it's funny that you say that because the Pixel 8 Pro is allegedly meant to have a 27-watt fast charging.
Still stupid.
It's faster, but not fast enough.
No, I'm sorry.
23 to 27.
If Motorola, and here's the thing, and if Motorola's I bought the Edge Plus 2022, it had a 67-watt charger in the box.
That 8S Pro I just bought, it has a 65-watt charger included in the box, and 65 watts is like the normal with most imported phones, anyways.
Once you start charging like that, when you have that kind of charging speeds, you're really not that impacted by battery life being kind of, because you can throw it literally on a charger in 15 minutes, get almost 60% or so. I mean, that's with you going to the shower in the morning, getting ready, even if you forgot to charge it, even if it was like 20, you throw it on a charger, go take a shower, get dressed, walk out, and then I've walked out and it's at 80, 90%. And you're done. It's like, okay, yeah.
I will say the Android 14 beta, for me, has brought much better battery life on the Pixel Fold. Standby time and screen on time has improved. I don't know, Tuna, if you've had that experience, but...
I hate to say this. I just don't. I mean, I hate to say this too, but I take two phones with me wherever I go, just so I can kind of play with both. And the Fold 4 has been in my pocket with the Nothing phone too. I just seem to pull the Nothing 2 out more, just because it's slap phones sometimes are more convenient in certain situations. When I'm out to eat, I'm going to snap a picture of something, not my food necessarily, but anything. And I want to see how like different lighting affects the camera. Like I'll see my kid making a funny face eating food. I go, I'm going to snap a picture of that because the lighting's usually dimmer in a restaurant. So I just try to do that. And I've actually been pretty impressed with the Nothing phone too. But the Pixel phone, I know if I need a picture that's going to be good, that's why I take it with me. Unfortunately, I mean, I shouldn't say unfortunately. Fortunately, the 8S Pro, I can't trust that. I've taken a few pictures already in perfect daylight and didn't come out that great. So
but I mean, and to be perfectly fair, you're buying that phone. It's like the Duo. You're buying that phone knowing that the camera is not the reason why you're buying the phone.
Exactly.
You're clearly buying, and it's just like anything else, right? When you're buying a phone, like Darren, you have to go with what your workflow is, what matters to you most. And for me, cameras and picture taking isn't that critical for me. So I have a lot.
So you're more of a selfie camera guy, right?
Absolutely. And that's why I think that would explains why the bezel on my Duo cracked. I think it's because I took a selfie. It's like, I don't think I dropped it. It literally just broke just from you take a picture of this ugly dude. Oh, it was terrible. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I know. Like Tuna and I, when we already talked about, like, when it comes to the camera, the Magic 5 Pro, honestly, I don't think it's going to be beaten by any phone. Like, it's
not this year, probably not.
Not this year, no. But I mean, again, coming back to like if the Flip had a little bit better in the way of cameras, I'd maybe rock that one as my daily, and I think I could probably get past the battery, like Sam said, if it was faster charging.
Yeah, I mean, me like if it's 45 watt, and I have the Flip 4, the Flippy Dippy. I've had until I had this. I used that all the time. I thought the cameras were okay. Like for me, especially, I'm like,
I think they're fine.
This works out great, and I love the fact that because I was, I went to the ball game with it last year. We had a work event, and I had it with me, and I was kind of playing with it.
Yeah,
and it was just like nice taking a selfie. You just kind of go click, and you just double tap it, and you can just do it right. You don't even have to open the phone. And everybody was like, Oh, that was pretty cool. And I think for a lot of women, that form factor is a little easier to, you can get into that folding life because it turns into a slab phone essentially, right?
Yes.
It's a little bit more, it's not so disconcerting to using a foldable device when you're using a flippable. I think that, and I'm curious to see if Pixel ever comes out with a Pixel Flip. It's funny, the things that Pixel don't make the things that I would buy. I would buy a Pixel Flip and I would buy a Pixel Band. Right? Those are the two things that I would purchase. Like I want bands and I want flips.
I know this is kind of off the topic. You mentioned a Pixel Band. It wouldn't obviously want Wear OS. It'd just have something else. I'm interested in that Nothing spinoff, that what CFM or CMF or whatever. If they have that, they're coming out with a watch. You know damn well it's not going to be a Wear OS. It's going to be a real basic band. How good that's going to be. I'd be interested in something like that. I agree with Sam on that wearable thing because the battery life of 14 days. I have this right here. The 6 Classic.
Yep.
You get 2,
I actually.
Maybe?
What'd you say?
We get 2 days, maybe 3 on the.
Okay, so here's what I thought when I pre-ordered it, that it was going to be better than the 5 Pro, and no, it's not.
Oh no.
So it's got a bigger screen, but a lot smaller battery. So the first night I wore to sleep. I usually don't wear my watches to sleep. It said I had 2 hours of sleep. Okay, that's bullcrap. The next night I felt
tracking is clearly
right. Well, it's never had that problem with any Samsung device. And the second night I wore it, it died. When I woke up, I go, "What the hell's wrong with my watch?" It just completely died. It was at 95% when I went to bed. So I don't know if it's just the rotating bezels being moved when I'm sleeping and that's waking it up. It's not turning itself off. I don't know. Battery life is like a day and a half, where the 5 Pro was like 2 or 3 days.
I'm sorry, just for me, that is a deal breaker for a watch.
You know what I've been wearing?
The
Fitbit.
Yeah.
Versa 2. Yeah. I get 3, 4, 5, 7 days out of that thing, and it doesn't have all the snazzy.
I got my B Band 6. It's about 10 or 11 days.
The only problem with Fitbit is they over count my steps. Like it's ridiculous. It's
even on the Pixel Watch, it was the same.
Yeah, and then my wife's like, I had 10,000 steps today. I'm like, there's no effing way. My Samsung says 6,000. Like, you're way off.
And I do have the Samsung, the Watch 3, so it does have the rotating bezel. And I get a day out of it. And I will wear that when I have my Flippy Dippy, because it seems like when I pair it to a Samsung watch, it's a lot more of a streamlined thing, as opposed to you can do it to another device, but it's clunkier when it comes to like syncing and stuff like that when you're first setting it up. Also, I don't like when you switch phones, you have to totally reset the whole thing.
Not anymore.
Okay. I like
they
that's
just
what
changed that.
I like about my band, because I just have the Zepp Life app from Xiaomi, and then it's like you just whatever phone you just sync it to it, and you don't have to worry about installing every phone. Just sync it up and you're ready to go.
That's how my Fitbit is. I can take it to any phone. It just connects and works right away.
And plus, it was only $45. That's the best part.
Yeah.
And
right now, that Versa 4, the Versa 2, I think it's the new. Not the Versa. What's the Sense 2? That's their highest Fitbit they have. Was probably the last one. They were like $300 when they came out, and now they're $199. I got a deal through Amazon. I don't remember when it was. It was like last August, and they had them for $79. And I'm like, this has got to be a mistake. Yeah. And I ordered it, and I think I remember getting an email from Amazon saying, "Hey, we made a price mistake, but we're going to honor it." And they still ship
they have to. They have to.
Yeah,
it's like when you go to a store, if they've got something labeled on a shelf and it's labeled, $80, and I got a Dyson vacuum for like $150 off one time at Lowe's because it went on sale. They forgot to take it down. I was just happened to be there. I didn't even know about the sale, and it was like, $249. That's a pretty good deal. And the guy goes, "Oh, they're $399." I said, I pointed right to the thing, and the guy, and he looked at the manager, and the manager's like, "Yeah, you got to sell it to him because that's what you had it on the shelf for. You labeled it as."
Someone got in trouble.
Well, they clearly fixed afterwards. But what I'm saying though is, if they listed on their website for $79.99, it was a pricing error. That's on them. I mean,
a little unknown fact here about Canada. I don't know if it's an Ontario thing or if it's a whole Canada thing, but if you go to a store and the price is marked as one thing, but you go to the cash and it comes up as another thing, if it's under $10, you can get it for free. That's a little unknown fact. Yeah. So basically,
I have never heard that before.
I remember
it's definitely not an American thing. I've never heard of that in the United States.
No, nothing for free.
Yeah, I mean, it's only the $10, but I mean, I'll give you a point. I remember buying a Blu-ray, and it was I think it was like $7.99 on sale, and when they clocked it in, it was like $11.99, $12.99 at the cash. And I said to them, "Hey, that's not the advertised price." And I went and showed her, and She's like,
what was the Blu-ray?
Right.
Can we ask?
It was
Hellboy. It's probably Hellboy.
It was no. It was Flight of the Navigator. Classic
Flight
late
of
80s,
the
early
Navigator
90s movie. Blu-ray.
I was more in the Never-Ending Story. I thought that might have been what it was, but hey.
Did you guys ever watch Explorers?
Yes. Yeah.
When they built that ship and went into space?
Yes, I remember that. Yeah.
God, like I tell my kids that they're like, "You watched this stuff?" I'm like, "Yeah, it was good when it came out."
I was just talking to a buddy the other day. We were talking about shows that we would like to see remade, and one show that I used to love was the show Sliders. Remember with Jerry O'Connell?
Oh yeah.
It was kind of like Quantum Leap, right?
Yeah, kind of like Quantum Leap, but like for the 90s era or late 90s era.
Yeah.
Basically, he makes a portal in his basement and he goes through and there's like alternate realities where there's different versions of themselves. And the whole thing was about getting home. I loved that show. I would love to see them bring that back. That would be fantastic.
They brought back Quantum Leap and it was terrible.
Yes. Oh, yeah, it was.
Nothing beats the Scott Bakula. You got to.
No, Scott Bakula was the best. Yeah.
No. Speaking of TV shows, I know we don't usually talk to TV, but why not while we're here? Have you guys watched Only Murders in the Building?
My wife has. I have not.
So
it's got
what's Steve Martin, Martin Short.
Who's the singer?
Selena Gomez.
Selena Gomez. That's right. Yeah.
So my wife suggested, hey, why don't we start watching this? Now, I never listen to what my wife suggests because it's usually like a Hallmark movie or some other bullshit like that. I actually really like it. It's actually really good.
I heard it's really good. It's funny too.
Yeah, hilarious. Very, very funny. Steve Martin and Martin Short are very funny together, but they always are in everything they do. But if you haven't caught that show, I think it's on Disney off the top of my head. Or Amazon.
Hulu. It's on Hulu.
Yeah,
which is owned by, I think, Disney. That's part of the package.
Yeah.
I think after the show, I might try to start watching the first episode. There's 2 seasons now, right?
Yeah, 2 seasons. Yeah, I'm at episode 3, and I've been like keeling over in laughter only because it's just one of those shows that you don't. After the first episode, I always said to my wife, I'm like, this is the kind of show where when they pitched the pilot, they probably thought this thing's not going to sell.
Yeah,
and sure enough, it's gained a lot of traction, and there are a lot of like big name appearances in the episodes. You have Sting, and lots of characters from The Office, and a whole bunch of other shows that you would know. So simple concept, great laughs. You know, again, kind of 2 classic comedic actors doing their bit, and you can't go wrong. But
if you want comedy, watch Prank Panel. You seen that yet with Johnny Knoxville?
No.
From Jackass. He's got his own show on like NBC or CBS, and it's him and 2 other comedians, and they just do like they have people come in and pitch them a way to prank somebody, and they pick the best one, and it's like it's not like what's the Ashton Kutcher show? It's nothing like Punk'd. Like they go in depth. Like they had one with a wedding, and like it's just
Do they do the prank afterwards?
They do, and they actually show everything. So, like there was one where the people were like, "Yeah, we're not scared." They didn't fall for it at all. Like it was hilarious, and he's like, they have to come out and say, "Oh, we tried, you got us." You know, it was. Yeah. It's intense, but nowadays it's hard to do a prank show. Everyone thinks everyone's being pranked, so
Well, fun fact: Scott Bakula is from St. Louis. How do you like that?
Oh, there you go.
Really?
Yeah, he's born in St.
Louis.
How
old is Scott Bakula now? 68.
I think he's like, let's see. He is born in 68. He's exactly 68.
Oh, look at that. What a guess.
Wow.
Oh, that's impressive.
Play the lottery.
Funny is he went to the same college I did, which is right down the road from me at Jefferson College. That's where he went to school. But he's born in St. Louis. That's just fun fact. Yeah.
No one comes from Ohio. Nobody.
Yeah, but a couple people do.
Wasn't the 70s show set in Ohio?
Yeah.
No.
Springfield. It wasn't it?
No.
I know.
You know, High School Musical? I never watched the show.
Oh, yeah.
But I found out that it was set in Lima, Ohio.
Oh.
Anybody who knows what Lima, Ohio is?
There's nothing there.
No, I'm not even going to say. I don't want to make anybody upset, but it's not it for sure.
Okay. You don't go there for a good time, is what Tuna's saying.
There's not a lot there.
It's pretty isolated, pretty sparse there.
We'll just say that.
We have some places like that in Missouri.
Every state has it. Every place.
Not much going on. It's pretty low.
That's Newfoundland in Canada here. There's nothing up there. Yeah, it's apart from snow and cold and dark. Well, listen, we've got a couple of minutes left here. Just wanted to have a quick one little final thing, just sort of thing. So big story this week. We love to talk about Apple. Apple's going to move the end call button. And I don't know if you saw the story this week, but the fucking internet blew up. The fucking world collapsed in on itself. The classic red end call button is being moved from center to the right. And listen, I don't know if there was ever a sign of the apocalypse to come. I feel like this is it. Like it's the end of it. People are losing their fucking minds about it.
It's just like the toggle, the silent switch. They put a button. People are like losing. Look, when Apple makes a change, you don't have a choice but to follow. So It doesn't matter. You can complain all you want. If they change it, you're going to get used. Just like Face ID. Oh my God, it's terrible. Now everyone loves it. It's the best thing since sliced bread. It'll be just fine.
I actually think the action button is a great idea because now it's not just going to be mute. It's going to be whatever the fuck you want it to be according to what Apple lets you have it. So, for example, imagine like the Apple Watch Ultra has a similar thing, but imagine being able to double tap the action button and launch the camera
or the flashlight.
Or the flashlight, like we've had on Android for fucking 20 years. Imagine that ability to launch the camera quickly.
Between Apple and Android, when Google decides to make a change, they're like, "Oh, we're done." They move on and get rid of it. Apple's not going to drop the ball. Very rarely are they going to change back to something else.
They're leaning into it, man.
They're going to bring back the fingerprint scanner. No, they're not. They're done. Unless they have an SE version 3 that they still want to use it, but I guarantee the next SE is not, if they make one, it's going to have Face ID as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at the Dynamic Island, right? Like, sure, it wasn't received.
It still isn't that great. I don't think. Either way. Yeah.
But who knows? Maybe they've got something up their sleeve for the iPhone 15. Fuck, I don't know what they could turn that fucking thing into to make it useful. Maybe display messages, text messages. That would be fucking cool. Like a little ticker across the top.
It doesn't do that now. I don't know. I don't have an iPhone. The only iPhone I have doesn't have a dynamic island anymore.
No, it doesn't. I don't think
I sold off my island. So
you did. This is true. Yeah. True. I still have mine, but unfortunately, it's just collecting dust and sand and palm tree leaves right now. For just the fact that I don't use it. Sam, what do you think the action button should do on the iPhone 15? What would you like it to do?
I wish they just let it. You can map it to whatever you wanted to. Totally wide open. If they would let you map it to whatever. If not, the camera would be pretty handy. I think a lot of people take pictures with their iPhone. I think that would be a pretty good double tap to launch it. And it'd be nice if they. I'm assuming this is going to be on the side of the phone, like an actual.
Yeah. So where the mute button switch would be, it'd be a button now.
Yeah. So and maybe make it a shutter button. That'd be kind of cool. So launch the camera, and when you're in the camera app, it actually acts as a shutter. So,
listen, I got breaking news, and this is a TNT podcast exclusive. They've actually revealed what the action button's going to do, and it's actually going to launch a direct YouTube link to the TNT podcast. I don't know how we made that happen.
Me and Steve, we go way back. So
there you go, right? So you're just going to fucking click it twice, 3 times, and it's going to launch straight into the YouTube channel. It's going to show you all of the previous podcasts that we've done.
However, I hope that button doesn't, like if you push the button, it doesn't make us have to start a podcast. That would
imagine that.
Our lives
activates all of our cameras.
We're pretty much just going to stay online.
No matter where you're at, you just got to start talking tech.
You just got to start talking.
You're at work. You're
in the bathroom.
Yep. You're making your favorite baked ziti. You got to do it right. So we just have to stay under the perpetual 24-hour, 7 day a week.
Always on.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, Apple is not going to let you do anything. Because if that's the case, I'm mapping Google Assistant. You know damn well that ain't ever going to happen.
No, I don't think
because you know how much better that iPhone would be if Google Assistant would be activated that way or at all.
You know the tap back. You know where you tap the back and it launches something. Mm-hmm. Fuck, if that was the Google Assistant, imagine that.
Didn't one of the Pixels have that? Doesn't the Pixel 7 have the tap in the back too?
It does too. Yeah, it does for the Pixel. Yeah, but
just no one cares.
Yeah, well, that's the other problem. Yeah.
I like the 4XL. I like the
squeeze.
The ACC, they had the squeeze.
Oh my god, the good old days.
That was amazing. I use that all the time.
Yeah,
just you're holding and just go, poof, get a little squeeze.
The only problem was when Tuna was watching porn, he would grip his phone too hard, and then it would activate the assistant. And
the things that I search for while doing. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Well, contextually, right? Like the voice would come on, and he would think it was part of the porn. It's like, you've got this.
Oh, this is really virtual. They're talking to me.
Yeah,
it's very, very.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Very interactive. What's happening?
But you wouldn't be the only one who would want the squeeze to Google Assistant to come back. I think that might reappear at some point in the future.
Nah, Google's done. And Google doesn't hang on to anything at all. Solely,
no, not anything good. Solely, all that shit.
Back fingerprint reader. I mean, come on.
Yeah. I will say, I mean, on the Fold, having it in the power button is nice. It works flawlessly every time, where you just tap it and it fucking opens it up. But I don't know. I think there was a few people who were talking about their experiences with the Pixel Fold over the last month, and there's lots of fear that we won't get a Pixel Fold 2. And that it might just be shelved completely, but I guess
hey, you know what? It is. Fold 1 was a good attempt. I can't imagine if Samsung keeps doing as well as they are, and OnePlus comes in and sells the Open and does well, Google's going to want a piece of that because Apple's not in it. And I think right now, if Android manufacturers can perfect it and get as much money as they can, I'm not saying Apple's ever going to do it, but if Apple ever came in and did something similar like the Flip, then it'd be a game over probably.
I don't even think they're going to do a Flip. Like I said, I think this is. I can't imagine that Google's not going to make at least a 2.
I hope they don't, because this gives Android the upper hand on at least something. It's kind of like, hey, you can go with the iPhone, you can go with the iPad, but we've got this, and this, and flippy, foldies, whatever,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, again, with the Pixel, I know we mentioned. We're just wrapping up here, but the Pixel 8 Pro had a little bit of a leak this week saying that you're going to have magic erasing for audio. So, when you have, you're at an event and you hear 10,000 people screaming and you just want to hear your voice, apparently you'd be able to get rid of all of those other voices, which is fascinating. It was a bit of a leak. We don't know if it's true.
I thought it was more like if there was like a dog, like if you had an audio
clip, same shit.
You've got a dog barking inside the clip, you could isolate the dog barking and you could
but
that.
Google's going to have to step up their video game.
Yes,
because no one. I mean, look, I'll be honest with you. The Nothing Phone 2, the Google Pixel, all the video I've ever shot with those have been more than plenty good enough for me. I've shot videos when I first started YouTube. I was using a LG, a Google Pixel 1. They were all just fine. I think, again, in a vacuum, you stick them. It's just like going to Best Buy. You compare 50 TVs next to each other, you're going to see a difference between all 50 TVs. But when you have just one phone in your hand and that's the only phone you have, it's unless you got like a $50 phone, obviously.
Yeah, if you're using a flip phone from 1995, then
tell from
or the Game Boy, you bought it at
Walgreens.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
One of those. What do you call them? A trap phone.
I had. There's a selfie on the PS Vita on my Vita. There's a selfie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You can take pictures with it too. It actually has a camera on the back. It's terrible. I mean, it's exactly what you expected to be, but it was just kind of fun. Oh yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, I mean, once you see videos on an iPhone, like you're like, holy fuck, wow.
Yeah, they're good. I'm not saying they're bad, but I'm saying like I've had nothing but good things results with the pictures, videos I've taken to other phones too. I just think when you compare it to another phone, you see a difference. But just by myself, the Nothing Phone 2, I shot a couple clips. They were just fine.
Yeah, I want to see how that audio shakes out, the Magic Audio Eraser. That'd be kind of interesting to see how they develop.
It's a cool idea.
Yeah, I mean, you would think makes sense, right? You can have images, but then audio.
Yeah.
How are you going to erase it though? With Magic Eraser for pictures, you just circle things and then it goes away.
I think it's going to pull up an audio thing.
I think you're going to have like an audio, like an Audacity. I think you're going to have your metering, and you're going to be able to isolate the clip, and it'll probably the computer will be, the AI will be smart enough to be able to sense the other audio.
Yeah,
and kind of run it through so it's like a blip.
I would assume it's layered, right? It's digitally layered,
correct.
Right? You're having 2 or 3 or 4 or 10 audio streams at the same time. It can isolate that spike layer and say, okay, that spiked barking dog, I can isolate that and get rid of it.
Oh, I can't wait to
without telling.
If it works pretty well, even if it works 95% well, if you can maybe sort of hear it, but not really. I think it would be a pretty awesome
My
feature.
wife would love that because every video she shoots with me in it, she could take my voice out of it.
It's true. This is true.
Yeah. Or when she's going, Tuna, shut up. It's like, okay.
Like all the time.
I'm good. Yeah, it's fine. But yeah, that'd be interesting. I can't wait to see it, Darren. That'd be cool.
So time will tell. I mean, I think we're expecting the Pixel 8 September. October.
Right. I guess right around the S24 issue time. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. I mean, there'll always be. I mean, I think right now, I mean, when we're talking smartphones, I think there's only probably a couple of major releases left with the Pixel and maybe the OnePlus.
I think Apple's got something coming too. Maybe.
Oh yeah, forgot about them. Sorry, yeah, and Apple. Yeah, there might be one more in there, but. Listen, thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you, everyone that's listening and commenting. We appreciate you all. Tuna, Sam, always a pleasure to have you guys on. And remember, guys, we are.
Yeah, before you say it, I don't know if you're okay. You're gonna say.
I'm going. You read my mind. We are moving our TNT podcast back to Sunday nights at 6:30 p.m. as our regular scheduled slot. So I know we've been a little bit over the shop the last couple of weeks. I apologize in advance for that, but we are moving back to our regular scheduled programming, which is going to be Sunday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And yes, thank you very much. I don't know all the other time zones. I didn't know there were other time zones.
5:30 Central.
Perfect. 5:30 Central. And we thank you very much for tuning in. Please make sure that you like, subscribe, check out these lovely people's other side gigs, Q&A's YouTube channel, the Nomad Tech Project podcast, which is also something that Sam does on the side there. And we appreciate you all, and we will catch you on the next show. Thanks, guys.